Hello friends, Dale here, Three Generations, welcome. Thanks for following us and subscribing and watching the videos. Thank you. I got an email from my cousin in Colorado this week saying how much she enjoys following and seeing what's happening on our farm. And so that was really fun to get that. Thank you, Robin, for that encouragement. I appreciate it. Today's a little different video. Yeah, let me get a cup of coffee. Actually, a sip from my coffee. But anyhow. Hey, kitty, what's up? Did you miss Kendra and I today? Now you're going to snoop around here? You can come over here and get in the video. I really don't want to pet you, though. Stay away from my coffee, though. Don't you touch my coffee. Anyhow, sorry about that. Come, you want them to see you? Come. Come. Oh, well, you're not going to get a view of him today. So anyhow, so today's video is my 2008 Toyota Prius story. As you can see from the title photo, something happened to it. He came out right in front of my car. Didn't even toot a horn. I saw him just before I hit him. He had antlers. It was at least 6 points, or may have been more. I hit him so hard, everything in the car went forward, and I was really surprised that the airbags didn't go off. It was a hard enough hit, and he went down in the ditch. And so my head is going, ooh, we're going to have venison meat. Ooh, this is exciting. I have to make some calls, find out the legalities. I have to call Chris to find out who the butcher is that supposedly has a bunch of available time slots, which is really hard to get these days. And as I hit him, the deer, I was putting on my brakes, so I got stopped, and he's laying in the ditch. The thoughts went through my head, and he got up and ran back into the woods. Now, he could have easily died back there in the woods. I didn't know the people. Like, actually, it would have been neighbors that I haven't met yet. It was only about a 1/10 of a mile down the road from our driveway. Fortunately, I was slowing down, so I was probably about 35 mile an hour. Probably by the time I hit him, because I was putting on my brakes, we were probably about 30 mile an hour. And I got out eventually and looked at the car, and yeah, there was damage, but it was still drivable, so I drove it. Let my insurance agent know. When I got home that day, I started looking for another car. I had really liked that Prius, that Toyota Prius, and it had done a decent job. I had it for 9 months, 3/4 of a year. I bought it on February 2nd of 2022, and on November 2nd of 2022 is when that deer hit me. I didn't hit the deer. He came out into my path, and he hit me. Well, that's the story I'm sticking with. But anyhow, so the night after that, November 2nd evening, when I got home, I started shopping for a Prius because, well, first of all, I started investigating what it takes for an insurance company to total out a car. And so I kind of got an idea of what, about what insurance companies, at what point they would total them. And I felt like we were probably close to a total on the car. I paid $5 less than $8,000 for it February 2nd. When I looked up Blue Book and Edmunds, and I don't know, I looked up a couple of them, and they varied in price drastically. One of them was $8,600. The other one was probably $7,600. But the one that was less, they didn't know that it was the touring model. They didn't ask for that. I didn't have the the VIN, or maybe they'd have known and maybe they'd have upgraded. But anyhow, I bought it with 129,000 miles, and the day that I hit the deer, or the day that they told me it was totaled and I couldn't drive it anymore, I was at 149 something. So I had traveled a good 20,000 miles with the car. When I got the car, I had traded in my Highlander that got 18 miles per gallon. What had happened a month earlier, or actually about 3 weeks earlier, we had already moved down on the property, the farm where we're converting the dairy barn to a house. We moved on there. We had an RV we put there. We lived in the RV 4 months, almost 4 months, and the local zoning said you can't live there. You don't have, a house, and an RV doesn't count, I guess. So we had to move off of the farm, and we moved to a campground south of the farm. And I had done the calculations, and it was going to be about 50 miles every day, 7 days a week, traveling to and from the farm. And with a Highlander that gets 18 miles per gallon, that's what, almost 3 gallons of gas a day. At that time, it was $3.45, and obviously it went up from that, and then it came down. But anyhow, so I put 20,000 miles on the car in 3/4 of a year. So I did the calculations on how much money I saved in gas in those 9 months, averaging. I figured I averaged 45 miles per gallon with the Prius, the 2008 Prius, and I figured 18 miles per gallon is what I would have done with the Highlander. And when I figured that out, there was actually a $2,300 savings in 3/4 of a year. Unbelievable. I would have never guessed that. But anyhow, now that was, when I say that was farm mileage, plus we went to Lancaster several times or more, maybe more than that. And we went to Ohio. So we put on additional miles on that car beyond just going back and forth to work. But in that 3/4 of the year, we saved $2,300. The Highlander, we got $3,000 off of the price of our car, a trade-in value. So trading off the Highlander saved us $5,300 this year. Well, in looking for a car, I wanted another Prius because I had a very favorable experience with this particular Prius. And I kind of wanted to keep it in that Generation 2 time frame, which is like, I see different figures on it, but it's something like the 2004s, the 2009s. If you guys know, please put comments in there. Other places I saw 2006 to 2009. Another one place I saw 2005 to 2009. I'm sure that the 2005 is...
Hey friends, Dale here, Three Generations with Kendra. Hey Kendra!
Hey.
We're on the road on Route 64 heading to Richmond, looking for another car. Yep, we're looking for a car. My Prius, as you have maybe seen earlier in this video, got hit and it got totaled. So we found another Prius down here, and we're heading down here to check it out and see if it's the right one for me. I can't think of anything else I want to say right now, but I did want you to just travel with us a little bit here.
We're going down 3 years in age, but it only had 113.8 or 700 miles on it, 1,000 miles. So it was 113,700 miles about. And the price was $5,500. Now it did have damage on the body, nothing that bothered me any. So anyhow, we went and test drove it. We ended up buying it. I asked him if he could do any better on his deal, and he dropped it by $200. So by that point, I had already heard from my insurance company, and they had totaled it. That was Monday when I was went to look and buy that Prius. That was an hour and a half, 2 hours away. That Friday before that, late afternoon, I got the call from the insurance company. They said, yes, that car is totaled. And, you know, the damage, if I wasn't converting a dairy barn to a house, and if I wasn't building a sheep shed, and if I wasn't having sheep and all kind of animals and chores to do, it had been tempting to buy the car back and fix it up, because all the damage that was done, you know, for probably about $1,200-$1,300, I could have bought parts and replaced them, but I'd had a salvage title, so that I would have had to have inspected it once I was done. But there didn't seem to be any frame damage. But I'm too busy. I have too many projects. I didn't need that one yet, and I needed a car. So anyhow, we ended up with $3,000 extra beyond what the insurance company gave us, which was nice. And we got a car that, yeah, it's 3 years older, but it doesn't have near the miles on it. And the battery is, you know, I've only filled it up now the third time, and I've had it about almost 3 weeks, I think. So about 3 weeks. I've filled it up 3 times, and I did today. And today, it was showing that the onboard computer gas computation was showing 49.1 miles per gallon average on that 320 miles. I usually will keep track of the miles, and then I'll divide it out also with the amount of gas I put in, just to verify. The other car, I was getting more like 44 to 45 miles to the gallon, although after the accident, which ripped up the front passenger side, it was no longer aerodynamic, so I was down in the 42s and 43 miles per gallon those last 2 weeks, or however long I had it after the accident. I guess it would have been, about 2 weeks. And when I calculated, it said 48 miles per gallon. The car said 49.1. And I found with my other Prius, you know, it could be within a mile below or a mile above. And that all has to do probably with how sensitive the gas shutoff valve is at the gas pump. But anyhow, it gives me an idea. And so I was very pleased to get the 48 or 49.1 miles per gallon with the 2005 Prius. So anyhow, hey, thanks for watching, and blessings, and have a great day, great night, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And thanks for watching. Blessings. Bye.